Hello, hello, buongiorno a tutti. Today we talk about the inner and the outer form. But before I want to just explain you can go to on my website and there is a possibility to, hold on, Marco, è troppo casino e poi dopo loro non capiscono. Tu vai, visto che c'è il sole, vai a prendere il gelato e quando torni abbiamo già fatto il video, ok? Ok. He goes and fetches ice cream and sorry, but he's too noisy right now. By the way, the mask you can find on my web shop. Okay, let's go back. I just wanted to ask you, or to tell you, that you can go on my website and there's also the chance that you can configure your dream instrument on my web page. Now, I tell you this because if you choose now, let's say, a modern style instrument, which is not exactly like its original, then I would probably use the inner form, okay? Which means that I create the shape of the violin, of the inside, and then I will bend the ribs around it. And later on, when I make the top and the back, referring to the ribs I create on this mold, which then I can use for many years, and I have a lot of this shape, and it's traditional Italian style, Cremonese style, to have the inner shape. So then you get a symmetric form, and the maker itself is adapting the shape of the violin every time he creates the violin, right? While if you choose now on my configurator your dream instrument, you will love to have, let's say, a guinea high-fats, or whether it is what do we have here? This one here, the ribs of the guinea saint tone, which is extremely asymmetric, and the top and the back one is more different than the other one. Then I would probably use the outer shape, which is known also as the French mold, and it's somehow a little bit bad seen because it's very adapted for serial making instruments. So somebody can make the ribs somewhere and top and back, meanwhile I create it somewhere else, and then you just have to assemble the instruments, okay? And if you don't if you're not very accurate, then the edges of the instrument are not so regular and precise than with the inner mold, okay? So if you want now a copy, let's say also from the, now I have like a guinea, the Lord Wilton, which 20 years ago was the most expensive violin sold, now it's already many other instruments. Then to receive or to obtain this asymmetric shape of the violin and all these things, these details of the outer shape, it's easier to make a copy using the outer mold, okay? I personally, I work a lot more with the inner one, but if I make my copies, I use the outer one. Maybe I can show you here just a few things on the book. So if you have the Lord Wilton, now if you just look very quick, then it's all the same. But if you look at this mold here on this shape, you take a little bit of time, leave it a little bit, and then you will see that it is not regular. In the upper part, it is a little bit inclined in one direction, and even in the lower end. And this, with the outer shape, you can very well capture. Yeah? And no instrument is completely symmetric. And if it would be, then it's probably a CNC-made, machine-made instrument, which is a different issue. We are not here famous for doing things like this, okay? This is one thing, and on the other side, I wanted to show you like the ribs banded completely in the inner shape, yeah? So this looks like this. I don't remember here now. This is the guinea high-fats, okay? And so then the advantage of using a shape, a mold like this is that you can bend the ribs. Then you put them with clamps here, you adapt the blocks, you glue them, then you band already the linings, and you can do everything all together, and you put everything together, and within, now I don't say now within 2 hours, but at least within half a day, you have made all your ribs, and you can glue it, and then you just wait. And next day, they're done, and then you can actually take off the clamps and finish the linings inside, and it is finished, and this is your Guarneri Heifetz ribs. Yeah, okay. So, at the very end, once the instrument is completely finished, it is very difficult to be able to be sure to see how it is actually has been made. But the one thing you can check is if the edge here is very regular or very up and down in the measurement. If it's very, very regular, very similar, very likely it has been used the inner form, but which doesn't mean, you know, if somebody uses outer form and is very accurate, it's very difficult. But another thing is the ribs here, when they match together, here you can see a little bit of how it's ending up. If the joint of these two ribs is exactly in the ribs, in the middle, it is very likely to be made with the French or with the outer mold. If it is rather this one, the upper and the lower rib is very strong and the joint is behind and you can't see it, then it's very likely that it has been made with the inner shape. Okay, this one here is the testore, which is very asymmetric, and so I use an outer shape. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and you understand that it does not mean that if you use one mold or another makes the difference of the result, but it's rather a way of what you are dreaming of to obtain, how precise you want to have a certain shape or not. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and check out my website and configure your dream instrument. Have fun, bye bye, ciao ciao.